Hi, this is Helen Mitas, and today I'm interviewing Lawrence Akers. Lawrence Akers is a presenter at HypnoBiz Australia, and he has a specialty and an expertise that is quite different and very niche, but it's definitely needed. And that's all about helping hypnotherapists do recordings. But before we get on to that, Lawrence, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, Helen. Hi, everyone.
So let's talk about, first of all, let's talk about how you got into the world of hypnosis. Tell me your story.
Well, you know what? It began back around 2013. I was in a job that I felt trapped in. I was really overweight. I was in a relationship I wasn't particularly happy with.
Yep.
And I went to Europe. And while I was away, I kind of had that moment where I thought, life has to be different.
Mm-hmm.
Life should be better. And I didn't know what it was that I was looking for. I just felt that there was something that was missing.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, I got back home from Europe. The day I got back home from Europe, I thought something needs to change. Something needs to be different. And I opened my emails, and one of the first things I saw was this email saying, "Learn to be a hypnotherapist. Apply now. Starts next weekend."
I love it.
So
Synchronicity. I love it.
I phoned straight away. I picked up the phone, right, this is the answer. I phoned and went, "Oh, yeah, I believe you've got a course starting next weekend." And they said, "Yeah, sure. Would you like to come in for a chat?" And I went, "No, just sign me up. Here's the credit card details. Sign me up. I'll be there next weekend." And, as luck should have, a good dear friend of mine, Joe, was one of the lecturers as well. So that kind of, it felt like it was the start of things happening for a reason.
Mm.
And through that, I was able to find more meaning and purpose in my life. I was able to shed a few kilos. I was able to invest my energy back into my relationship and to really get that into a better place as well. And, just to be able to engage with life in a different way.
Beautiful. I love that. I love those stories of synchronicity where as soon as you realise that things weren't going well in your life, the first door opened. Yeah. And it was an email and you trusted your gut that this is right.
Yeah, it was about just opening up to the universe and to be able to explore that. I just caught up with a friend for lunch and we're talking about spirituality, and I've always said that I've been not very spiritual, but I'm beginning to realise that I am actually quite spiritual. It's actually more about the universe and allowing for these answers to come to us. And I'm beginning to realise that is my spirituality, and it's great to feel like I'm beginning to explore that aspect of my world now as well. So it's really exciting.
Love it, love it. And then what happened then, Lawrence? Tell us in terms of your journey into this world of hypnosis.
Well, and I guess this is what leads me into the workshops that I run, because going back many years, I used to work in the music industry, and I always had a passion for music. I love music. I wanted to work in the music industry because I wanted to be involved in those kind of history changing things that happened. I wish I could work with a group like the Beatles or something. I never got that opportunity, but besides that, the intention was there. And I always loved technology, and it was funny because I began to really to write music, to play music, and to edit music. And I would have some of the label managers that I work with would come to me and say, "Oh, we've got this 12-inch record. We need to have a radio edit done. Would you mind taking this and cutting it down? Because I can't afford to go elsewhere."
Yeah.
It's really the reason. Don't tell anyone, but can you cut this down and we'll send this to radio. And so that's kind of where I began to develop this passion for recording, this playfulness and this fun. And so when I was studying to be a hypnotherapist, one of the first things I wanted to do was to create a Facebook group for my group. And I was surprised by how many people, when I mentioned Facebook, almost recalled back. Oh, technology. I'm not very good with technology.
Common theme with hypnotherapists.
Yes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Therapists in general. And I began to realize that it's kind of ironic that you go and study hypnotherapy to use your creativity and to use your ability to guide people to come up with their own answers and their own solutions. And yet, when you ask therapists to use their creativity with technology, it becomes a scary limiting belief for them.
Yeah.
So part of the aim of my workshop was really about how do I break this down so that I can show anyone who believes that they can't work with technology that they really can, and that not only can they do it, but the fact that it's actually really creative and really fun, and you can be playful and you can experiment with ideas that you might be able to think in your mind and wonder how you could do it. There's certainly ways you can do that with this recording technology.
I love that. I love that what you've done is it's not just a step-by-step in terms of how to, make a recording for yourself as a hypnotherapist, but it's how to bring together what hypnotherapists are good at, which is creativity, with what they need to do, which is recording. So tell us, why is it important for hypnotherapists to have recordings?
Look, I think there's a lot of different reasons why. And this is mainly from a business perspective, but if you've done something like the fantastic Sheila Granger virtual gastric band, for instance, now you could theoretically give your clients the 2 recordings that she has, that she gives, and they're fantastic, of course they are, but how much more effective is it going to be if you're giving your clients those recordings with your voice?
Absolutely.
Doing it. Even from a perspective of, if you were to record a mindfulness exercise or a meditation or a simple hypnosis, and to be able to create a landing page and put that online to attract new clients, that would seem like a smart business idea in itself. What about the ability to create online recordings or programs that you can sell so that you're not relying solely upon one-on-one clients for your revenue there? There's lots of different reasons, as to why you might want to learn how to record.
Heaps of reasons, isn't there?
If you learn how to record yourself, then you're saving money. You don't have to do it in a recording studio. You can do it anytime you like. There's a convenience of it as well. So even practical reasons there are good as to why you might want to learn these skills.
Yeah, and I think what you said, the first reason is so important because they're all important, but like here at HypnoFit, we've got 4 hypnotherapists that work here, but every single person who works here has recordings in their own voice because it's important for the client to hear their therapist's voice, because then they're anchored to your voice. So that the next time they come in for a session, they just need to hear your voice and they go down very easily and very effortlessly. So it helps them to actually be prepared for your voice and to have a certain reaction to your voice. And that is so important. That it must be your voice as opposed to someone else's voice.
About building that connection. And you could theoretically record a session on your phone. Absolutely. But I hear from a lot of people that do that they wish that their recordings were sounding a little bit better or a little bit more professional. It's about giving that what's the word I'm looking for? That feeling of professionalism. Yeah, and that feeling is exactly, and that kind of image that hypnotherapists need to create, that we are a professional outfit. And so a professional outfit doesn't just do a recording on a phone. Yes, exactly. It's about sounding it as much as acting it and being it. It's being that overall authority, professional feel.
Okay, wonderful.
I'm throwing words at you at the moment. I hope that's okay. I'm just like a dictionary at the moment. I'll just throw lots of words and say.
So, Lawrence, from what I can see, there are so many people who need your help. And so tell me, and this is exactly why we wanted to have you at HypnoBiz Australia, because it is such a valuable resource for people to have in terms of making their own recordings. What are they going to get from the workshop that you present?
Oh, this is why I'm so excited, because this is the first time I've actually presented at a conference. So, I'm going to be terrified and nervous. So
no, you
won't. Alone, you should come along, because it's going to be fun seeing me be terrified and nervous and give it a damn good go. What I'm intending to present is really the original workshop. So I've run now something like 12 workshops in Melbourne. And the workshop grew from a 2-hour workshop initially to a day-long workshop now. Yeah. So what I'm going to be presenting at HypnoBiz is going to be a cut-down version of that original workshop. So by the end of my presentation, people will know things like what software they can use for free to be able to do their recordings, what kind of environment they can record in, what kind of equipment they're going to need, how to record. Obviously, that's the main thing there. What to do when they make a mistake. All these kind of tips and tricks that I've been able to accumulate over the years. I actually posted on your fantastic forum today some feedback that someone left on my free online course, saying how, they've been using the software for 10 years and yet they still managed to pick up tips and tricks from my free online offering. So, really what I'm hoping to do is to be able to bring them all in plus a little bit more, so that by the end of my presentation, people walk away going, you know what, I actually can record. I actually can do this. It's actually a lot easier than I thought, and I can actually have a lot of fun with this and be really creative with it as well.
Yeah, because the thing is, if you're not having fun, it becomes a chore. And if it becomes a chore, that energy is going to be reflected in the kind of recording that you make.
Absolutely. But I also I love whenever I run the workshops, and I always have this moment where I look around and people have their individual penny drop moments. Where, especially when I start talking about the different effects and things like that, where you can see them suddenly go, oh, that's really cool, and I can use it for this.
Yeah.
Things like, I'm beginning to go into a different area here, but things like dual channel inductions. Now, you might not know what that is. There's a fantastic guy, everyone knows Paul McKenna, I'm sure, in the UK, who use it quite a lot. But, the ability to be able to record part of an induction on left channel, part of the induction on the right channel.
Very powerful.
Together, it causes confusion. And, of course, what does confusion create?
Trance.
So, it's about, and that's something that the technology can do.
Yeah.
And people might not think of that beforehand, but to be able to go, oh, hang on, yes, of course, I can do something with left channel, I can do something with right channel. I can be really creative here and to start to really explore different ways to create something that's really professional and really unique to them.
I love it. And the great thing about your presentation, Lawrence, is that it's actionable. So immediately afterwards, there's something that they can immediately do to improve the service and the offering they're making to their clients straight away.
That's the thing. And, whenever I run a workshop in Melbourne, it's always hands-on. So I'm always only getting in a small number of people so that they can all come and we do it all together at once. And obviously that's not what I can do with this presentation, but I promise anyone who comes along that it's going to be as engaging. I'll make sure that I throw in at least 5 dad jokes, maybe more, so that there's the opportunity to have a good laugh as we go. And, there'll be giveaways as well.
Fantastic. We love giveaways.
Yeah, it's not just coming and seeing some guy ramble throwing dictionary words for a good hour. You will be able to walk away with things that you can take with you to make sure that learning continues.
Awesome. That sounds fantastic. I'm very excited. So you excited that you're coming to the Gold Coast?
I am jumping out of my skin. I've never actually been to the Gold Coast. I've been to Brisbane.
You're kidding me?
I've not been to the Gold Coast.
Oh, my God.
I'm actually turning into a bit of a family thing. My brother-in-law, who's a hypnotherapist, is also coming up with me as well, my sister.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bit of a fun family outing. This opportunity.
It's awesome. The location's incredible. It's we're like 50 meters from the beach and I'm the hub of everything.
I'm just looking at the other presenters and I'm pinching myself that my name is up there amongst them. I'm going to be fanning out in the background, kind of going, oh my God. It's almost like I imagine Larry and Cheryl Elman walking past. I'll be going,
but the thing is, Lawrence, is that nobody at that conference has your knowledge on what you're presenting except you. You're the absolute expert in recording.
There's some amazing people coming in. Some that I reckon might even rival me. They know who they are. But you know what? I'm so thrilled to be able to talk about this and to be able to share my knowledge and to be able to look forward to I think some amazing speakers are going to be there. It's just going to be a sensational conference. I think
It's going to be incredible, absolutely amazing.
anyone
And
who doesn't come along, I think, are going to regret it afterwards. They're going to really wish they come along.
Totally, because, you know, I've been to many, many conferences overseas over the last 4 years particularly, and it's apart from the knowledge you get, rubbing shoulders with the people that are the absolute experts in their field, creating alliances, and, you know, feeling inspired. That inspiration is required in our field to take the next step. So
I've already been going through the list of presenters and circling where I want to go, and you know, it's really exciting. And you know, some of the things I want to see are things that I might not have experienced before as well. So I'm really using this as a weekend to be able to explore some areas that I might have absolutely no knowledge about. As well as be able to go and see some speakers who are just, you know, I know are going to be incredible speakers. So it's going to be an amazing weekend.
absolutely. So for those of you watching, there's going to be a link with this interview. Make sure you secure your spot, because like Lauren said, you will regret it if you don't come. Everyone, in terms of the who's who in the world of hypnosis, will be in Australia for the first time. So
absolutely. My spot is Sunday morning, first thing as well.
Yes.
So it gives me an opportunity to be well behaved on Saturday night and to get into the room early and set up and make sure it's all working. It's a challenge with technology-based presentations is technology is a component of it.
Yes. So everything will be perfect.
It will be. It's going to
absolutely. Thank you so much, Lawrence, for coming on our show today, our interviewing show.
Great. I've been enjoying watching some of the other interviews as well. I've seen the ones with Bianca and Joanna. So it's
yes. And you got to see Wendy's as well. We did that yesterday. So that was awesome. So can't wait to see your presentation to find out how you, and you know, I was particularly interested when you said, you know, learning what to do when you make mistakes. You know, maybe you don't have to start from the beginning. You can do something else.
You definitely don't need to start. I definitely cover that.
Awesome. So
to get it done in a click.
Just like that.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Lawrence.
No problem. Take care.
Okay, bye.